Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UBU. Presenting the incomparable LYNNAIRE Johnston of Linkability, the Queen of LinkedIn. And welcome back for the second time, Christopher Roberson. We can't wait to get into the show. Let's go. Hey, baby, this is UBU, where the voices rise. Truth and connection, you can see it in our eyes. Yeah. Oh, every story stronger, every step we take. Oh, you be you forever. Let the future wake. Oh, welcome to LYNNAIRE Johnston. Oh yeah. Welcome's Chris Roberson. Sing it now. Shining in the light. Oh, you be you. It's your time tonight. It's your time. It's your time tonight. You be you is the rhythm. You be you is the sound. Voices lifting higher, spreading all around. Yeah. From linkability, wisdom lights the way. Oh, you be you, the anthem we're singing today. Yeah, today. Oh, welcome's LYNNAIRE Johnston. Say her name. Welcome's Chris Roberson. Say it proud. Shining in the light. Oh, you be you. It's your time tonight. Shining bright. This is more than a show. This is UBU, where voices connect, where transformation begins. And today, it's LYNNAIRE Johnston and Chris Roberson. Yeah. Welcome's LYNNAIRE Johnston. Oh, yeah. Welcome's Chris Roberson. Sing it loud. You be you. Linkability, it's short and bright. Oh, it's your time tonight. Oh, yes, the voices rise. Hear the anthem in our eyes. Lift your soul and feel the light. It's your time tonight. You be you. It's your time tonight.
Hey, everybody. This is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill. This is UBU Live, and I want to thank the wonderful LYNNAIRE Johnston for joining us for part 2 of our before and after. And Christopher Roberson, thank you so much for being a team player. It's hard to have everyone out there looking at your profile, your stuff. So let's start with LYNNAIRE. How are you today?
I'm doing well, but tell me, Bill, what's that behind us? I can see that's looking really cool. I love those animals. What is this?
Oh,
Am
hold
I on
on
the
for a
right
second.
show? Maybe I'm on the wrong show.
No, you're on the right show. Our friend Felipe, let me show everybody. Our friend Felipe has written a book, and we want to support him. It's called Miranda and Max's Big Adventure. So here's, and we are back. Did you know Felipe wrote a book?
I can't believe it took him 20 years to write the book, but I'm going to be buying a copy for my granddaughter for
I,
Christmas.
I got a copy already. See,
Oh, you lucky man, you. Is it lots of fun? I bet it's great. He's a man
it
who
is.
really knows his stuff. I've got a lot of respect for Felipe.
Me too. Me too. All right. So we don't want to talk about Felipe all day, do we, Chris? So how have you been over the last 3 weeks?
I have been great, been very busy. As everyone knows, I'm currently a teacher, and my time has been filled with preparing to teach some really good stuff to probably like 175 students, a whole bunch of new people, a lot to learn, a lot to experience for them, and it's going to be great.
Good. Good. So let's dive in. LYNNAIRE.
Let's start. Thank you, Bill. Nice to see you again, Chris. With just a quick recap of what we covered last time, because this, as Bill has said, is a before and after show, and we're kind of in the middle. So it's in the middle, before the beginning, the middle, and then the end. Maybe I'm not quite sure where the end's going to be at this point. But what we did when we met 3 weeks ago was we talked about some of the things that Chris had or didn't have on his profile at that stage, and we put some new ideas in. We changed his banner, we updated his headline, we put in an about section, and did some other changes as well. So what I'd like to do today is to just go back over some of those things and just see how Chris is feeling about them now. Because one of the things I find when I do profile makeovers like this for my clients is that you need to sit with them for a bit, because they might be a great idea in the moment, but then you come back and you look at it after a day or a week and you go, that's really not me. I really don't like that wording, or it doesn't quite grab the attention that I want. So I think that I'd like to start with that and go back and just have a quick look at a few things. And I've also had a look at some things that I'm not entirely sure that I'm really happy about now either. And so I want to just run those by Chris and to see what he's thinking around that. So I'm just going to go over to Chris's profile, which you can see on the screen, I am hoping. And you can see at the top here that we have got the banner that has got the 3 words, his tagline, if you like, on the right, and then and a bit more detail about what it is that he does. So, Chris, now that you've had some time with this, are you happy with the way that this is looking?
I would have a tiny change in the banner, just a small one, because like what you've given me is like really good, and I like the 3 words you chose to kind of highlight me. What I would like to do in a new banner maybe is have a keyword or something that kind of expresses my creative side as well, because that's a big component to my work.
I agree. And I don't think that your profile, as it stands at the moment, covers that as well, because you're the author of a couple of books, children's books as well. So we need to be talking about those. I agree. So do you have a particular word in mind? Because this is live, and so we've not covered this up until now. So if you have a word in mind, then what I will do is make sure that we change the banner to that. I can't change the banner live in this event, but I can go away and do that and bring back, put up another one that might express better what it is that you want to say.
Okay, so I see we have engineer, educator, maybe the word creator or something like that.
Yeah, Absolutely. I like that. And I think that is different from explainer. Educator and explainer are quite similar. They mean really the same sort of thing. With as a creator, I think that would fit in there really, really nicely. So absolutely, creator it's going to be. We will do that and make that change for next time round. So, okay, good work. Now, what about your headline? Your headline is something that follows you around LinkedIn. If you're inviting people to connect, if you're engaging on other people's content, people will see your headline because it sits right there with your name and your profile photo. So how are you feeling about that now?
In that same angle as the bringing out more of the creative side, maybe it could use a little update in that direction. But as it is now, I do like that it shows the where it talks about bridging the technical and complexity and complex things with human understanding.
Yeah, I do too. I think that's a really nice phrase. So we've got 220 characters for the headline. So what I will go and do and see how many characters we've used for that. I think it's probably going to be close to that, but I will add in something around creator or creativity, or even maybe a bit more specific, because one of the things I quite like to add to a headline, which we've not done here, is to add something that's a bit personal, something that might not be relevant immediately to your work, but is the kind of thing that people would look at and go, oh, wow, that's amazing. I didn't know that. Or that's really interesting, and then ask a question about it. So the fact that you have written children's books, I think is a really important thing to add into here, because it is something that is a wee bit different. For quite a long time, I had the word gardening fan on the end of my profile headline, and that worked really well because people who were also gardeners would then comment about that. But I think having something that people can kind of get their teeth into that helps them to get to know you personally is a really, really good idea. So let's go away and we'll add that one as well. So excellent idea. Now, I can see that you've been connecting to a few people since we were here last, which is great. I still would like to see you with more connections, a minimum of 500. Now, one of the things that is quite difficult to do around this when you are on the free account, which is what you are, is that you can't send a personalized message when you reach out to connect to people. You have only about 5 or 10, maybe 15, if you're lucky, that you can use a month. But sending a personalized message when you're reaching out to somebody who doesn't know you gets you much more likely to have a successful yes, and people actually agreeing or accepting your connection invite. So that makes it a little more tricky when you are trying to build your network. But I would really love to see you get a minimum of 500 connections, because what happens then is that LinkedIn, instead of putting the number of connections that you have in there, LinkedIn puts 500 plus connections, and then that people that you're active on LinkedIn and busy and doing different things. So people can see how many connections you have further down in your activity section, but it's that initial impression that you want people to see. So we'll come back and talk a bit more about that, I think, later in the session, because it is important to increase your network. There are other benefits as well, not just first impressions. And so we can talk about what that means and how you might go about doing that. I do have a question for you though, Chris, around this. Did you find, or have you found, more people reaching out to you to connect with you since we've made changes to your profile?
I would say yes. There's been moments within the past couple of weeks where I would log in and I would see maybe like 5 or 6 unread messages or new connections,
Okay.
and I think it's been working.
Great. Well, the more that you're on LinkedIn and the more active you are on LinkedIn, then the more of those that you are going to receive, because more people will see you. It's definitely made a difference. If we look here at the profile views and the search appearances, you can already see, I can't remember what the numbers were last time we met, but it was certainly much lower than that. So we're definitely moving in the right direction, Chris, no question. So let's move on to your about section. And we put together an about section for you that you had said you were happy with before we put it up onto your profile in the last event. But when I look back at it again now, I can see that again, what it's missing is this creator aspect of you. And so I'm wondering whether you feel that we should be including that in here now too.
I think it is certainly a good idea.
Okay. All right. Again, we'll probably have more room that we can add that in. And I think that it's a good idea to put it right probably at the end, because if you put it in your, as a teaser, in your headline, maybe it just says creator and people want to know more about that, then putting something that is an explanation in your about section is, I think, a really good idea. So we'll go away and have a talk about that and think about that and see what we can come up with that one. Now, when we come down to your featured section, your books are actually here. So what we've been talking about up until now in terms of what's missing is right here. And at the moment, there's a disconnect between what people will see when they come here and what they are seeing when they look at the top of your profile. So in here, in other words, what we are seeing is your children's books and something personal about you. What we're not seeing here is enough about the work that you do. So this is where I think that we will probably want to make some more changes. Now, one of the issues that we had when we spoke about this last was what to put here. And so while you and I, before we started, had a bit of a chat about something that we have decided we're going to do, I'm just wondering whether there's anything else in the meantime that you've thought of that might be a good thing to add into your featured section.
I was working on my own personal like website, just to kind of highlight myself, like a resume website, I guess you can call it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I think maybe that could be a good idea.
Yeah. Is that finished?
It is probably about 90% finished.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that once you've got that done and you're happy with it, adding it would be a really good idea. So let me just quickly show you how to do that, because we already did this with these links here, but this is going to be something that you want to make sure displays really well. So when you go into, these are all the different aspects of your profile that you can add to your featured section. And so if it's a website, then you're going to want to go in and add a link. And when you put the link in here and click add, you will see whether or not it's going to display really well, because that's how the website is set up or not set up. And sometimes even the websites of really big companies don't display well on LinkedIn. And so I, in that case, take a screenshot of the website and put it up as an image instead of a live link. So it goes up here as media instead. And then in the description, which you can see that just sits underneath, then you can add the link to the website if you want to take people directly to that. The downside, it's not a live link that people have to do a couple of extra steps to be able to reach it. But this is a visual part of your profile. And this is somewhere where you really want to make an impact with those images. So making sure that they do look good is something that is quite important. So I think that that would make a lot of sense to add that. Another thing that I think would be really useful is for you to create a short video about who you are and what you do. And so I think that while we're here today, it would be a really good idea for you to practice that and just spend 30 to 60 seconds telling us a little bit about who you are and what you do and the kind of work that you are looking for. Because I understand that while you're teaching at the moment, you are looking to get back into the engineering side. And so it would be really good for people to understand that. And what we would do with it is then we would put the video in here as your very first entry in the featured section. How does that sound? A bit scary?
Scary and exciting.
Okay, I'm going to shut up now then for 20 or 30 seconds, or however long it takes you to talk about this, and let you do that. And my advice is that if you stumble or you get yourself tied up in knots, don't worry, just keep on going, because it's important that you sound like you and that you look like you. I mean, when you look like you already. So, but you need people to kind of feel that they get to know you a bit better. And that's the main purpose of an intro video, is so that people can learn a bit more about who you are, not only what you do, but they can just see you in action. So over to you. Take it away, Chris.
All righty. So my name is Christopher Robertson. I'm known to my students as Mr. Rob, and I'm a software engineer, computer science teacher, and a tutor. I have a lot of years of experience helping students break down complicated concepts and learn and understand them, as well as helping teams with a lot of technical challenges and just creating clear solutions. And I also take on some freelance web development projects as well, bringing life to small businesses and enhancing their web presences. But if I go past that, I am also a published children's book author. I really enjoy stories, and it all comes from hearing so many stories from my family when I was young and just telling those stories to my kids. I just decided to start writing them down and getting them published. And the idea is that I believe that there's an intersection between technical and creativity. So I always say every story has an algorithm and every algorithm has a story. So whether I'm building systems or guiding learners along the path, or just crafting the words on the page, my passion is connecting logic and the imagination to create meaningful and inspiring things.
Wow. That was great. I can't believe you haven't
Hold on
practiced
for a
that.
second.
I know you haven't practiced that.
That wasn't. Hold on. So this is my show. I never.
Right.
No. I didn't know. Chris, did you know she was going to ask you this question?
No.
That was such a good response.
Yeah.
I will say I am always kind of prepared to that. Just the random off chance I meet some super powerful CEO in the elevator and he asks who I am, I got something to say.
That was off the cuff. I'm blown away. I am blown away. And I expected something that, that we would maybe edit at the end and take out you stumbling or stuttering, because that's what I do. I stumble and stutter. That was really impressive.
Well,
LYNNAIRE, what do you think?
I think that was really impressive. I'm blown away too, because Chris hasn't had very long to think about this. I think he's probably only had half an hour, and we've been talking for most of that time. So the fact that he could come up with that just off the cuff like that, I think is pretty impressive, which means that he could be doing more videos, Bill, couldn't he? Don't you think?
Absolutely. You want to be the host next week, Chris?
How much you paying me?
Okay. Well, bye, Chris.
So where we're at now is we're going to have a great video of Chris talking about who he is and what he does, and we're going to put it into the featured section here. So by the time you come back next time, hopefully you'll be able to see that all put in there nice and looking nice and great, because introductory videos are a really good idea. I will say one thing about this, though, that you do need to know. And that is, if you're going to put a video into this section on your profile, it needs to be hosted on YouTube or Vimeo. Chris needn't worry. We'll take care of all of that for him because that's part of what we're going to be doing. But in fact, if you are already on YouTube and you have a YouTube channel, then all you need to do is put it up on there as unlisted on YouTube, but make it available elsewhere. And then you can put it into your LinkedIn profile. And you can do the same with Vimeo, which is how we put our videos that we want to have in here on our own profiles. And so if you go to my profile, for example, you'll see one there, and that's exactly how we have done it too. Well done, Chris. I'm super impressed.
I am.
All right.
Absolutely.
Oh, you've post. Excellent. Now, here's something that I think that most people don't realize is that you can put a post into your featured section. So if you have got one that has done really well, or you want people to see over a longer period of time, then all you need to do is to go to this and to pin it to your featured section. So I haven't practiced this and I haven't done this for a while. So let's see whether or not I can get this to work for you, because I really would like to put it onto your featured section for people to have a look at. So we're into the post now itself, and here it says feature on top of profile. So I'm going to click on that. It tells me that it has saved it to your featured section. So now we're going to go back to your profile again and just check to see whether it is there. Wouldn't it be nice if it's worked as it should do? Ta-da! Ladies and gentlemen, there it is. Chris, do you want to tell us what this is?
Okay, so this year our school district is going in an excitingly new direction. We met with industry professionals from all over at one of our meetings, and we had a long conversation about what do students need to be prepared that they aren't teaching in high school. And we got a lot of advice, a lot of it around DevOps tools, certain programming languages, and one of them was learning more about cloud computing. So our district decided to go in this direction and partner with AWS Academy to teach cloud computing to the students. It's really a college level course, but we've been given the okay to teach it to our seniors and get them prepared.
And for those out there, because LYNNAIRE actually did ask me this earlier, can you explain what AWS is? Because it's not Amazon, but it's an umbrella under Amazon. So explain it.
So yes,
Please.
Amazon Web Services is what the AWS stands for, and it is the backbone to most of the internet, I guess you could say. You might think you're visiting a simple website, but what's happening behind the scenes is a lot of moving pieces that we always call the cloud, right? So this curriculum is going to help demystify this general term, the cloud, and get students prepared for the modern world of computing.
Well, I think that's a great idea, and I applaud your school for being so looking ahead at what students are going to need, because the world is changing so fast that making sure that they go out there with some additional skills that they might not be on the normal curriculum, I think is a really good idea. So really nice, and really nicely done to have a post about it, because then the school gets the credit, you get the credit, and everybody wins. So very nice indeed. I'm going to leave that there for now. You can choose whether you want to leave it there later on or not. And if you decide you want to take it off, you just go into the editing area here and you just remove it. It won't take down the post. It won't affect the post at all, but it will just take it off your featured section. So really nice to see you posting there, Chris, and the more posting that you do on LinkedIn, I think in terms of these kind of things is a really good idea. Now, it is fair to say that reach on posts is not nearly as high as it used to be, and that's a bit of an understatement, but I do think that putting content on here from time to time or on a regular basis, which is the best idea, makes a lot of sense. And you've also posted about today's event and tagged me in there. So thank you very much for that one as well. And Bill would want to say thank you too, because the more people who know about these things, the better, the more people who will be in the audience for them. All right. Now, when we met last time, We added some new text to your experience section, and we put a whole bunch of different things in. Now, we only put one piece in while we were actually on the event live, but we had prepared quite a number of other pieces, which you have put up there since, which is just great to see. So I don't propose to talk about this for too much longer, except to say that it's really important that if a company that you work for has a LinkedIn company page, that you link to it. Do link to the right one. The name on the LinkedIn company page may not be quite the same as the actual legal name of the company, so make sure you're looking for the right one and work off the logo that sits there. It's also a good idea to have some media in your roles because, as you can see, it breaks it up really nicely. And so putting something in there that people can go and visit and have a look at has got some visual impact, but also is something that might be useful. So well done with getting all of that in there, Chris. I'm really happy with how that is all looking. Now what you've managed to do is add a new section. Good for you. The licenses and certifications with your AWS Academy educator. Now this is a really good thing to do too, because it shows that you're a lifelong learner. And given that you are an educator, I think this is a very good thing to be showing that you are doing this. You can also put things into courses. There's another section that looks very similar to this that is courses. And if you do any of the LinkedIn learning courses, then you can automatically just pop them into a section that says that. I really love the LinkedIn learning courses. There's thousands of them available on all kinds of conceivable topics, but you either need to have premium, which is the paid account on LinkedIn, or access to it through your local library. It might be that Chris's school has it available, but it's more likely that it will be through his local public library. Even then, it might not be available. Mine certainly doesn't have it. Mind you, I am at the bottom of the world, so fair enough. Now, we did a lot of skills for Chris last time too. We've got up to 91 out of 100. Really happy with that. And what that is going to do is it's going to mean that more people will be finding Chris, because skills go into the database or rely on the database. And if you want to be found on LinkedIn, then you need to have as many skills as you can possibly muster. So really nice that we've got all of that done. And we've got 10 recommendations. I'm really pleased with that. There are a lot of people who have very few recommendations, and yet that is such important social proof. So I'm really pleased. Looks to me like we've got a new one since we were here last. It's given the last one was 2011. So I think that is all really, really nice. I'm really happy with all of this. So Chris, is there anything else that you want to mention about this before we move on that you think we might want to change, add, alter?
Let's see. Can you please scroll down closer to the bottom under the recommendations?
Sure. It's the courses
So,
one.
okay, there's the courses.
Yeah.
Okay, I was wondering what connection I can do with the AWS certification. So there were courses I had to take for it. So I'm thinking I can add those courses there as well.
You can add them manually here through this plus key, and you can just add the name, the number associated with. Now this will give you, that one there will give you the AWS. Let's just try typing that in and just see what happens. No, it's not going to let me do that. Let me come out of this and try again. No, we don't want that.
Oh, it looks like it's associated with the company it comes from.
Yeah, that's right. So in your case, it would be AWS. Now, it seems to be picking this up from somewhere. Oh, I know. This is what it wants to do, is it wants to edit what you're associated with it in terms of your work. So this may not, in fact, bring up a link with AWS at all, because it's only got the course name and associated with, which is your role, not anything to do with the company that provided the course. So that may not be as useful for you as you think. But here's the thing I don't quite understand, is that there's a logo here with this one. So we would need to experiment with that one a bit more and try and find out how we could add that in there for you. Because when you look at it like this, it doesn't look like there's an opportunity to be able to add AWS at all. And so I'm not entirely certain why we've got a logo there and we can't do it now. But LinkedIn has this marvelous way of changing things. And so things that were there yesterday might be gone today, or vice versa. So don't be surprised if you go into it and you find that it's completely different from what I'm seeing here, or it's changed tomorrow. But I do think we should be doing more of adding courses, definitely. And there, let me just whiz back up to the top for you and show you whereabouts you can add some other things too, because in this add profile section here, under this area, you can see here at the bottom, there is additional. When you come into that drop-down menu, you can see you can add volunteer experience, publications. So that's your books, patents, honors and awards, test scores, not useful for those of us with a bit of maturity. In other words, we've been around a while. Languages, if you speak any other languages, organizations and causes. Now, if you go into any of those, it will allow you to put another section at the bottom of your profile. Unfortunately, it does sit at the bottom, which may not be terribly useful for you. So it's a bit of a swings and roundabouts. Decide whether or not it's worth putting the effort into doing these things if it's going to be right at the bottom of your profile. The exception to that is the volunteer experience, and that shows up higher up. That shows up to your education. And so that is a good thing to have if you have got any work that you do in your local community. So that certainly makes sense to me. Anything else before I move on, Chris, that you'd like to mention, add, or ask?
No, ma'am. I think I'm ready to move on.
Okay.
I have a question.
Oh, Bill, yes, this is your show.
Sorry. So, Chris, I love what LYNNAIRE did with your banner, and I attempted to do it myself, and it didn't turn out the same. So I'm not sure what I did, but are you going to bring it up, LYNNAIRE?
I am. If you give me half a minute, I'll grab it, and you can see Bill's shame. All
I was
right.
like, I want to be like Chris. And yeah, so this is what I came up on my own without LYNNAIRE. So
the thing to keep in mind when you're preparing banners is that they are quite a lot harder to do than they seem. They're one of those things that look really simple, but are really a lot more difficult. Now, I don't know what you use to as the template for this, Bill, but Canva has some really good LinkedIn
I did.
templates. Did you? Well, this is interesting.
Yes, I guess I'm not that savvy on how to create banners.
Okay, so let's be really mean to you and pull this apart while we're here, because it might be. Let's turn it into a learning experience, shall we, Bill? If you're open to that.
Go ahead.
All right. So the first thing is that you've got your name at the top left, and immediately underneath it, you've got your name. So that is kind of repetitious, and I'm not sure that there's a great deal of point in that. The second thing is, as you can see, and everybody can see, that Bill, the text is far too long. It's far too small, and you're looking at, I'm not quite sure what everybody else is looking at it, but I'm looking at it on my desktop, and I can hardly read it. I certainly can't read what this line says underneath here. And so we have to remember that a lot of people, in fact, coming up to 2/3 of everybody who's on LinkedIn looks at LinkedIn on the app. So that could be most likely their phones, which means the screen is going to be small, Bill, and so is the banner.
Yeah.
which means that the words have got to be big. So I would recommend that you take one of those sentences, make it 50 times as big as it is. That's probably too big, I think. And then shift it over to the right, because the other thing that's clearly obvious here is your
Yeah.
photo is over top of the words.
I know.
So don't put anything in this left-hand end of the banner here. Don't put anything in here at all, because it will be covered by your photo, your profile photo. And in fact, just make sure it just starts around there. That's the best place for it. And you really want to balance what's on the left with something on the right, which is why with Chris's, we put the 3 main words there on that side. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
that I noticed it right away, and I felt like, well, I'm going to be talking to LYNNAIRE in a couple of days.
We'll stop sharing so that your shame is no longer visible on the screen.
Thank you. Oh, are we done with Chris's profile?
For now, yes.
Okay, good.
I'm going to move on if you are both happy with that, because the thing I want to mention is that we can't expect people just to find our profiles. We might have put a lot of effort into it, a lot of time. They look fantastic, and we've done all the right things, but people might not see it. And so how do we go about making sure that people do see it? And what can we do to improve our chances of being offered a dream job? And so that's where I want to take this next, if that's all right with you both. Because the important thing, I think, here is to remember that this is a jumping off point. And expecting to be delivered a dream job on LinkedIn simply because you've created a fabulous profile is just a dream. It's not going to happen at all. So we've got to give the universe a bit of a nudge and help us along our journey. So the first thing that I would like to do is something that I've already talked about in terms of Chris's profile, and that is to see him build his network. Now, I did mention that I would come back to this, and he's got 314 connections and a few more followers, which is great. And I think that after today, he's going to find there'll be more people following him as well, which is even better. But widening that network is important, but it's also important that they're the right people, Chris. And so if you are receiving invitations from people who can't possibly be of any use to you in your network, then there's a good argument that says to say no, to ignore that opportunity, if you like, or that invitation. Because if you don't know who they are and they haven't said in terms of their message to you, if they've sent you one, then why would you want to be sending messages to them? Because here's the thing, I think, with messaging is when somebody invites you to connect, then you connect to them, then you want to follow up. And I think following up with the video that we've just recorded that's going to go on your featured section as an introduction to you is a really good idea. So when I reach out to people or people have connected with me, I send a message that's personalized. It says, hi, Chris, thanks so much for connecting with me. If you've connected with me because you want to learn more about LinkedIn, here's a short video that tells you who I am and what I do and some of the resources that we have available. So it's not salesy. It's just a nice intro, just something nice and warm, and people love it. Sir.
So I avoid clicking links from people I don't know. Mm-hmm. So kind of what type of steps from a security perspective does LinkedIn take to ensure that those links are not hazardous?
In that situation, when it's a direct message and the video has been recorded on my phone and I've just uploaded it directly into a direct message, none. No safeguards. What you can see, though, is the video thumbnail on the screen or the video itself on the screen in the message. And so it is quite visible. So you can... I think that it would be very unlikely for someone to send you a video that you could see the beginning of that wasn't real. And if it wasn't real, if it wasn't an image of them, then you can just move on past. Or send them a message and say, thanks so much for the video. I don't open videos from people I don't know because I'm really careful about security, but I would like to get to know you a bit more. And
Right.
then ask for something else or take it in a different direction. I just think be upfront with people. I imagine a lot of people don't open my videos, but some people do. And then people are likely to say, hey, that was a really cool idea. I didn't know you could do that. And so I'm backing up my credibility or claim to credibility on LinkedIn with something that people don't usually know about, which is something that is really positive. If you don't want to do a video when you're reaching out to people, you can send a voice note. And that does go through LinkedIn's own system. So that is secure. Or you could just send them a text. But on the note that you're talking about, one of the things that I love to do is to send people GIFs. Some people call them GIFs. I call them a GIF. So that's a moving image. And what that means is that then they're seeing something that really stands out and is moving on their screen. But again, Bill, that has no security with it either, because that's just something that is on my own laptop, and it could carry any number of viruses. I'd like to hope that they don't, but they could. And so I think it is important and wise to be very careful about your security. So, Chris, have you had any invitations from people that might have looked a wee bit dodgy, as we say down here in New Zealand?
Actually, yes, I've seen those invitations and things where there's randomly capitalized characters in the text and misspelled words and spacings off, and it's just crazy.
It is difficult, and it's got more complicated to weed those people out, because with AI, all your messaging you would expect to be perfect, right? So then you don't know whether the person that sent you that message, English is a second language for them, whether they simply don't care, or they don't know, or it's not important to them that it makes any sense, or any number of other reasons why they might have sent you messages like that. But LinkedIn is a professional platform. You would expect a certain standard. And I think that if you get messages like that raise your antenna, are a red flag for you, then have a look at their profile in a bit more detail. And if you decide, based on a couple of things I'll share with you, that they are not, or there's a risk that they may not be who they say they are, then just click ignore, because you don't want to be having people in your network that are not the right people, or are not, who might be a wee bit dodgy. Because the problem is that there's a reputational issue at stake here. People expect you to be connected with people who are good people, because that's the way the world works, and you have a small network. So they expect that you would know the people who are in your network, and so they would be reliable and appropriate people to connect with. So that's a really good reason to be careful. Now, the ways that you can double check whether or not this is the profile is real, there's no 100% guarantee, let me just say this, but you can go into the About This Profile section, which is in the More menu, the three dots More menu, on someone's profile, and it will say About This Profile. And you can have a look at when they connected with LinkedIn, when they joined LinkedIn, and you can also see if their profile is verified. If their profile is verified, that's a green tick. Then that's much more likely to make them be a reliable person or a good person, at least not a fake. And so you can use that kind of thing to see whether or not that person's a good one to say yes to.
So I don't know. What about the SSI score? Is that for LYNNAIRE or is that for Chris?
The SSI score is individual to you. So my SSI score is something that's private to me. Nobody else knows about it, and I can't access it. I mean, I can access Chris's because I'm in his account. At least I was a few minutes ago. And so I can see his SSI score. It stands for Social Selling Index is what it stands for. Thank you for asking that, Mike. Social Selling Index. This is a score that LinkedIn gives you about your own profile and activity. So it's out of 100. and you would wanting to be aiming to have your SSI score at between 60 and 70. If you can get above that, well done. So it gives you scores. So it breaks it down into 4 sections. And each is worth 25 points. So it's the completeness of your profile is the first thing. Then whether you are reaching out to engage with other people. Then whether or not there's going to be 4 of these and I'm going to only remember 3, then whether or not you are networking with people, so that's engaging, reaching out to people, and there's 4th one, and that's about branding, about whether or not your profile and what you're doing on LinkedIn is congruent with your personal branding. So those are the 4 things that you can get on your SSI score. But don't worry about it. If you're doing all the other things we're talking about today, then it will automatically start to go well and increase over time.
Okay. And where do I find that? I didn't even know they had one.
Yeah, there's a link for that, and I don't have it off the top of my head, but I can find it. Why don't you two just have a quick conversation? I'll go away and find it and bring it back for you. Just go on. I have got it somewhere.
So, Chris, I wanted to clear something up. I wasn't surprised that you had an elevator pitch and that you did it so well. That was more of a reflection on me, because I couldn't have done that as eloquently as you did off the cuff. So when I said, oh my God, how did you do that? It wasn't minimizing what I thought you could or could not. It was me. If LYNNAIRE had asked me the same thing, I think Felipe asked me that question once, and I would like, because there's so many different verticals that I'm in. So
it's no problem.
I
totally
take the compliment and understand that a lot of that is self-reflection, right?
Okay.
Yeah, we put what we think that we would not have been able to do and say, oh my God, how does somebody else do that? And it was just freaking good. So that's the takeaway. That's the takeaway.
Yeah, I hear where you're coming from, and I didn't take it like that at all. I understood that it's something that I practice, and I don't just go telling everybody, hey, I have an elevator speech. So it's gonna catch people off guard. I know.
Yeah, and what a lot of people I think fail with this program to understand is it is 100% unscripted. So we check to make sure that technically everything is working, but even when we got on today, just to make sure everything technical is working, I walked away, and you guys might have had a 10-second conversation, but it wasn't like we have a script that we're following. So that's why I was like blown away. All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, me. I put the link in the private chat, which with any luck, you should be able to, because you're the host of this, Bill, you should be able to put that somewhere where everyone can see that. And I think that it goes into either the banner or the assets or one of those other areas. Anyway, I'll let you have a play with that while I continue talking to Chris about where I think we can take this all next for him. And what I would like to mention is that there are a number of features that LinkedIn offers that you can use for job search. Now, because LinkedIn is primarily a recruitment site, at least that's where it originated, it has over time developed a whole bunch more different things that you can use. Now, some of them will be useful, some of them won't in the true LinkedIn style. But you will, if you go into the job section of your profile at the top in the main menu, you'll find a whole bunch of things in there that might be of use to you. But one of the things I wanted to talk about today is something that takes a bit more effort to do, and is something that is probably something that you would want to do over a period of time. And one of those is when you go into your who's viewed your profile. If you are a premium member, you can see, first of all, who's viewed your profile, but it will also give you some ideas about different people that you might want to connect with, or you might want to follow, who might be already working at the organization that you've got your eye on, that might, if you build a relationship with them, help you to do that. Now, I'm not suggesting that you would connect with somebody who's working at an organization and say, oh, I'm getting in touch with you because I want your help in getting a job. If you do that, they will just block you. You have no chance. But if you were to go to someone who worked for a company that you have your eye on and say, I'm building my LinkedIn profile and my network, you and I have got some synergies in common, and talk about what they might be, it would be great to add you to my network. And here's the key: if you are open to connecting. That phrase, if you are open to connecting, just removes any doubt about it potentially being a sales invitation. And I have found that that works over and over and over again. Regrettably, I didn't come up with this. Another LinkedIn expert did, but I've used it consistently, and my clients use it consistently, and it works extremely well. It just removes that whole feeling of, oh, I'm not sure about this, whether I should be connecting. If you are open to connecting, which I think is something that is a useful phrase to make a note of. It's very simple, and you can put it anywhere in your direct message. Another way to get a bit of visibility on LinkedIn is to engage on other people's content. Now, this is a really useful one for you where you don't have access to premium and you can't go to those extra sections and find people who might be working at, or easily find those people who might be working at companies that you have your eye on. So if they are posting on LinkedIn, then you can go to those posts and comment. And it has been said by many, and it's hard to disagree with this, that commenting is the new content strategy for 2025, because reach on posts is so low. If you go to somebody else's post and comment on it, it is going to help that post get more distribution, a bigger network, and you will be seen in the comments thread. Because if somebody's interested enough in a post to read it, they're very likely to read the comments as well. And if you've added something that shows that you have read the post and thought about it and added a really interesting opinion, or taken it in a different direction, or asked a question, that immediately confers credibility on you, which makes you someone that people are going to want to check out. And then they're going to pop over to your profile, be amazed at how fantastic it looks, and go, oh, I think we'll follow this guy, or they'll reach out and ask to connect. And that is also how you can increase the size of your network, because the bigger your network, the more influence you are going to have, the wider your visibility. However, on the contrary side of that, because Bill has a huge network. He's got more than 30,000 followers, something I can only dream about, on his profile. And yet he's not finding necessarily that he's getting any much better visibility on his posts than, say, you or me. And so there's an argument that says you can have too big a network as well. I'm not saying that's you, Bill, at all. But I was writing a piece about this yesterday and having a bit of a thought about it. When you've got a very small network, people assume that you know most of them, the people in it, as I've already said. But so you've got those tight connections. But when you have got a really big network, nobody can expect Bill to know all the 30,000 odd people who are following him. It's just unrealistic. And so there's that kind of a less, it's a more tenuous link, if you like. It's a more direct link when you have a smaller network. So there is a middle ground here, is where I'm trying to go with this. In your case, Chris, definitely increase the size of your network. Bill, stop inviting people. You've got enough. you've already got. Start sending more direct messages because it's about building those relationships, right? Now, when
Right.
you and I connected, it was a matter, and I can't remember which one of us originally did do this, but it was a matter of you and I picking up the ball with that and going, hey, look, she looks a really interesting person. I'll ask a question. I'll move the conversation forward. And look at us. Here we are on our second episode of You Be Live with Chris. And I think that you and I are on our sixth episode of You Be
Yeah.
Live.
Yeah. And it's been great. It really has. I have a question for you, LYNNAIRE. I think I sent this to you. There was a representative from LinkedIn that said video is the new way that LinkedIn is going. Did I send that to you?
Yes, even if you didn't, I understand what you're saying. The question is that right? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I believe that in the modern world, all of us, no matter whether we have got grey hair or not, need to be showing that we are able to do video, because video is something everybody watches. Just look how many billions of people watch YouTube videos, me among them. And so showing that we are comfortable in that medium, I think, is really important, because if we want to move up the career ladder, we're going to be in situations where we have to talk in public. We might have to be on live streams. We might be invited as a podcast guest. We need to demonstrate on our LinkedIn profile that we are competent at that. And what better way to do that than just to put out a video, or in your case, Bill, have live streams, and show what you're like in front of a camera, and that you do feel comfortable with it. So my answer to that question is absolutely. We've talked about putting one in the featured section. You can put it in your services section on your profile as well. You can do video posts. If you're doing articles and newsletters, which I thoroughly recommend, you can add videos to those as well. And now we can even put a video at the top of an article or our newsletter. So instead of a big banner image, we have a banner video. And I think that makes an awful lot of sense to do that too.
So it's interesting. Sorry, Chris. We're going to get back to you, I swear. It's interesting because I recently did an article, and I had a song, right? And they were both about trust. And so the article was about trust, and then the song was about trust. And so I just embedded that into the bottom of the article and sent it out. But they also both went out separately. So I don't post my music on LinkedIn. I generally post, that's on Substack and everything else. But it was great because of the article. It was just embedded, and they kind of complemented each other. So I was happy about that. Sorry.
And that's one of the reasons why I like articles and newsletters so much and recommend them, is because you can do that. You can, if you're doing it on a post, it's got to be separate. It sits at the bottom, right? But when you're doing it in an article, it can go anywhere in the middle of, top, middle, or bottom of your article or newsletter, and it looks great. So you've got that visual impact, and it looks so much better than just having a whole load of text all on its own. So I really do think that people who are serious about LinkedIn, doing articles and having newsletters is a very good idea. Now, I don't think that that's useful for job search, Chris, unfortunately. But what is useful for job search for you is the video. And I think putting up a post, so like, for example, the one that you did today about AWS Academy, I think that would lend itself to a video talking about why you are in favor of that, why it's a great idea, and what you've done in terms of your own training around that. So I think there are definitely opportunities there to be doing videos in different ways on LinkedIn. And it's certainly people are watching them. There's a lot of engagement. It's a bit surprising, really, but there is a lot of engagement on video. And so I think that it's worth doing, even if it's just so that you've got some videos in the activity section on your profile, so people can go look at what you have done and see that you are credible and competent in front of a camera.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yep.
All right. So there are quite a number of other features that I think are very useful, and a lot of them come with the premium subscription, which is not cheap. But I would like to mention here, take the opportunity. No, you're talking about me. Should I be quiet?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Someone in the comments said Felipe was handsome, and then I just kind of said, but I am.
Right. Where was it? Oh, yes. I am a premium member. And as a premium member, I have a few 2-month long subscriptions to premium that I can give to people. So if you sign up to premium, you'll only get a month. But I can give people who've not used premium before and are not using it at the moment 2 free months of it to work out whether it's useful, whether they like it, whether the features that come with it are helpful for them. Because not only can you do things with your profile that look really great. So an example is scrolling banners, not just the one, you can have scrolling ones. That might be one of the ways that you've gone wrong there, Bill. And you can have other features in your analytics. You can reach out to people more easily because you can send personalized messages. You see more about the people who have viewed your profile and people you might want to connect with. So there are a good number of reasons to try premium. Now, it's not useful in the longer term if you're not active on LinkedIn all the time. It's just a drain on finances, to be fair. But if you are using LinkedIn to help you get a new job, to brand your business, build yourself as a thought leader or the go-to expert in your field, using premium is a really good idea. So I have a number of those. And Bill, you wanted to allow me to offer one of those to people on the call today, if I remember rightly.
How do you want to do that?
Well, I think that we should invite people to say in the comments that they would like this. And then after the show's finished, we will just randomly choose someone. And then we will mention that in the comments ourselves, who that's going to be. And then I can get in touch with them directly.
Okay.
Yep.
So the way that this works is you could never have been a premium member previously, correct?
That's right. Yes.
All right. So if you have had a premium membership in the past, you're disqualified. Sorry.
Ineligible.
Okay. Thank you. Ineligible. Live. See, guys, this is live, unscripted. So if you've never had a premium membership, you're ineligible. If you have never had a premium membership and you want one, LYNNAIRE can give you 2 months for free. So just say that you want it in the comments. Not everyone will get one. And, we're here, UBU Live, we're here to help you become better. And as we're helping you become better, if you really watch the show, LYNNAIRE is making me better. So it's great because we can all be forever learners, and none of us are experts in everything. LYNNAIRE is my go-to for LinkedIn, and just take us up on the offer. We want to gift this to you.
We do. And while we're talking about offers, Bill, I'd like to make another one. And that is that anybody from today's show who wants to have a look at my Linkability members community, which you are a member of,
yes,
is very welcome to have a look at that as well. Now, we offer as a general rule to everybody a week free of that. But I would like to offer your listeners, watchers, viewers, I'm not quite sure what they are on the live stream,
right?
Livers, that doesn't work either. I would like to offer them a free month of it because I think a month is a really good way to get to know people, to understand what's on offer, to attend some of our roundtable events, and to generally be part of our LinkedIn private group. All of the different components that make up our Linkability members community. So linkability.biz, it's just flashing across your screen at the moment. If you go into there, then that will take you to where you can find out a bit more about it. And if when you're there, you decide you want to take me up on my offer of a free month of that, then please just send me a direct message and I'll make sure that happens. I'll send you the details of how to do that and we will get you involved, because I'm really loving the community aspect of the whole thing, Bill, with people helping other people, experts in different fields, getting together and sharing information. And to me,
Absolutely.
that really epitomizes LinkedIn, and it's all about people helping each other to do better in their professions.
One of the things I will say about the Linkability Network is it's very strong and it's community oriented. So off the top of my head, Daniel, Sigrid, Cher, I can go, S. Scott Mason, who's been on my show several times. You know, these guys are always sharing knowledge and tracking where they're going. It's a great community, and it's a privilege to be a part of it. I think I told you one time, or in a thank you note, that, you know, I'm trying to get a lot of things together, so I'd like to spend more time, but it's not out of not appreciating what you're doing, because I so appreciate it.
And also, I think it's worth noting here that both you and I are on Substack, Bill. I'm really new at it. You've been there a bit longer than me. So if anybody wants to, I don't know if you connect on Substack. I'm not quite sure what the right terminology is for Substack. We're both there and putting content up there if you'd like to connect, join, follow, whatever it is on Substack too.
Yeah, it's me, you, and Americo that I know are on Substack. So, you know, I like to just promote everybody. Chris, let's have, what are your final words?
Well, first off, I just want to say how appreciative I am of you guys having me on here and going through my profile. I think it was a great experience to be able to show more of myself to the world than I had before. You know, I kind of had the robotic approach, just straight bullet point list, but now it's a life story pretty much. And that's
good.
Thank you for that, LYNNAIRE. And Bill, thank you for your support as well, for finding me and inviting me on this show. Gave me a real chance to connect, and I'm so happy to see so many members joining the live stream. It's very exciting.
It is.
And, I'm hoping I can actually connect with a lot of these members and get to know you guys that's tuning in. That'll be great. So yeah,
you know what would be great, Chris? After the show, if you can go through the comments and you reply to everybody, and LYNNAIRE and I will reply to everybody, and you know, that's how you build your network. And within those comments, you get an extra connection. I know that a lot of the people here are extremely well connected, and I appreciate being a part of everyone's network. And Kenneth Dunner, everything he's done for me, and Felipe and Mike and Peter and Jeremy. And so I can go on and on and on, but I just, it's such a warm feeling to be a part of something bigger than you.
Yeah.
So that's my thought.
And if you go into the comments, you can reply to people's comments. Chris, then all you need to do is just drop them a quick invite. Don't need a message because they all know who you are.
Right,
just a whole bunch of people to connect. I reckon by the end of the day, you have 350 connections. So yes, we're moving forward.
Yeah, strike while it's hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't go to bed until you're done.
All right.
Easy for me to say because it's only midday for me. I know it's getting on for you guys. So.
Yes, it is. LYNNAIRE, my friend, thank you so much. Oh, how did you guys like my theme song today?
Oh, loved it. I loved it.
Oh, the song is really good.
I was bopping away to it off screen, and it was just really, really cool.
Were you shocked when your names were coming through?
I was.
I was pretty shocked.
Yeah, you know,
it's been used in the song before, so I'm pretty thrilled.
You know, when I was doing it, first of all, I want to say again, thank you to both of you. This has been one of the largest pre-attendance programs that I've had. So whatever you two did on part one, people really wanted to see part two. So, bravo to you guys. But I also wanted, since I had this audience, to make sure that it wasn't about me. So the entire theme song was about you be you. It was about LYNNAIRE. It was about Chris. It never mentioned me. And that's the brand. That's the commitment that I want to make to the audience, that we're bringing things for you to help you. And if something happens to me and, in return, great. But my heart is really with everyone out there, because we're all trying to reach a different level. So if we can all raise each other up.
Absolutely. Bill, thank you so much. And it's always a pleasure to be with you. And it's been fun working with Chris and helping him with his profile too. So I'm expecting great things from you, Chris. So when you are heading the engineering team at Meta, please don't forget your friends.
Absolutely. Thank you, Chris.
Well. All righty. Thank you.
LYNNAIRE, are you going to hold on, or you got to go?
I'll hang on and have a chat with you after we've finished, if you like. And thank you, everybody, for hanging in there today. It's been lots of fun. And good luck, Felipe, with your book.
Well, that was going to be my closing.
Oh, sorry.
Everybody out there, Felipe Cofino has written a book, and right now it is on sale. Like, I got mine already. I think it's for the ebook. I think it's like just $2, and then the hardback comes out, I believe, next week. Remember that we only rise together. If everyone watching this program right now went on Amazon and brought a $2 ebook, it's for children. It took him 20 years to make it. It's about his daughter, and it's about his first dog, Max. And it took him 20 years to write it. And I'm so proud of him, just like I'm proud of Chris. And I'm so proud of LYNNAIRE. Let's help each other. $2. Go buy it. All right. So we're going to head out. Thank you, everyone, for joining. We love you. Chris, tell them you love them.
Love you guys.
Love you guys.
Bye, guys.
Fuck it,